Voz de Oliveira.
Hello! Reflection on Profile of Jesus. His entire life was special. Announced by prophecies, dreams, and angels, he was awaited by the anxiety of the people, by the national pride of race and the despotism of the political rulers who wanted him to be an arbitrary and passionate warrior. When spiritual silence hovered in Israel, he was born anonymously on a gentle night, in a manger, surrounded by domestic animals and assisted by the love of his humble parents, without other witnesses. His first visitors were nature lovers, modest shepherds, soon followed by powerful magi, in a typical contrast that would always mark his journey among men. In the landscapes of Nazareth, he would grow up unknown, moving between his father's carpentry shop and meditations in the green meadows, confused with other young men without any prominent conflict bearers before their time. He ripened in the home like good wheat in the generous soil, and when the time came, he became giant in the synagogue, unveiling and announcing himself. Misunderstood, as was to be expected, he went in search of those who would follow him and remain as basis of the new era that he was initiating. In the bucolic Galilee, poor and dreamy, fertile and rich in beauty, he began the ministry that would one day extend to almost the entire earth, presenting the happiness program that creatures lacked. Never equaled, his voice possessed the magical intonation of love that penetrates and sweetens, teaching how no one else has managed to equal him. The majesty of his bearing confused the hypocrites and disarmed the opponents, due to the serene innocence, profound wisdom, and unique personality. He was never disturbed by the human situations over which he hovered, even though living among people with bad lives, sinners and perverts, desperate poor and soulless rich, moral victims of themselves in vice and stubborn persecutors. He understood human smallness and pushed individuals towards inner growth and greater achievements. Penetrating the future, he referred to the hecatombs that human insanity would cause, but he also presented the reality of good as the crowning achievement of general efforts and sacrifices. Poet, he became a singer. Prince became a vassal. Lord, he became a servant. Noble of heavenly origin, he turned himself into a slave out of love. No one said what he said as he did and lived. Jesus is the historical synthesis of human ascension. Distinguishing times, he marked them with the Sermon of the Mount in eternal beatitudes. Not even death diminished him. On the contrary, it anticipated his luminous resurrection, which remains as life with an eternal flavor, spanning the ages. Great, today as yesterday, he is the tomorrow of those who cry, suffer, await, and love. His venerable presence hovers domineering over humanity, which finds in him the Alpha and Omega of their aspirations. Jesus is life in the highest representation of the Creator, as a model for humanity of all times. Let us unite ourselves with him and let us live him.